Hey, thanks for joining us today. This video is going to unlock the Douglas, Nebraska tax lien auction for you for 2025. We're going to show you what's in that auction, how to research it, how to buy, and some of the auction details there. And we're going to use Parcel Fair to unlock that for you. So let's jump in and talk about it. This auction will be coming up in March. It just released today, and so we quickly got it on the site for you to check out. March 3rd, 2025 is the auction date. It's going to be online at realauction.com. We're going to go through that in a minute. These are tax liens that you're buying. You're not buying deeds or properties, they're tax liens. The max interest on these is 14%, and there's a 3-year minimum redemption period. So you can't really start the foreclosure until 3 years in on these liens. The format is probably the most unique part about this. They use some places it's called a random format or round robin. And what that means is they call up a property in the auction and then they do a random selection of registered bidders and give each of them a chance to either buy or pass each time they're chosen. So property comes up, maybe another bidder is chosen in front of you and they pass, and then it goes to maybe you or someone else. And then you'd have a chance to either buy or pass as well. And what's cool about it is you get the 14% interest. We're not bidding it down. We're not bidding values up, or you're just going to pay the taxes and get your interest prorated if they redeem early. And if you take a peek in the auction just to see what's in it, we've done the numbers. At this point, there are 4,417 properties. When the list was released, there were already a few redemptions in there. So it may have been a little bit higher to begin with, but as of the day it released, 4,417 properties. That number will go down most likely before March 3rd because the county will process redemptions and the number just kind of trickles down to whatever the final number going to auction will be. Out of the 4,417 properties that are having liens going to auction, about 67% of them have structures. This is kind of a common thing in lien auctions. We see usually between 2/3 and 3/4. So this is right just above 2/3 have structures on them of some value. The entire value of property in the auction, we estimate at $688 million. This is going to be tax assessed values. So it may be on the low side for some properties. And so we'll just say our estimate is 688 million. I'd call it a minimum. And the overdue taxes, if you add all the overdue taxes together, $11.4 million that the county is trying to recover in funds that they can use for schools and roads and things like that. So remember, these are taxes, revenue that the county needs for basic functions. So they're trying to get that back using this auction. So let's go straight to the live demo, and we're going to unlock this auction together using Parcel Fair. But before we do that, we're going to look at Real Auction, where the actual auction is being advertised. So go to realauction.com to do what I'm doing. Click on Clients, and then Real Tax Lien, and then Client Filters, and then Nebraska. And then we're going to see the one county that they have is Douglas County. So we're going to open that up and take a look at the preview here. If you're trying to work this without Parcel Fair, or you're trying to do this auction by hand, I wish you luck because it's going to be a lot of work. We're talking about 90 pages, 4,490 records. Remember, there's been a few redemptions. When you see a redemption, this active status changes. So that's how you know it's redeemed. And so if we wanted to go one property at a time, let's just take the first one. We see the link. Actually, let me back up. We see the number for the auction number. The tax year means it went delinquent in 23. They're selling it in 25. The face amount is going to be the opening bid, which is the taxes due. Now, if we want to see anything else, we have to click this link on the property. And we're leaving Real Tax Lien. It says that. And we're going to this other site. Now, I don't know about you, but first of all, let me get through click the circles to make sure they know I'm a person. Yep. Okay. Yay, I win. Now, this stops me in my tracks. I am not going to install something on my browser. I don't know why they don't just link you to the county record. So for me, this is a non-starter. I'm not going to work this auction if they're asking me to install software. It just sets off my trigger. I'm going to go try to use the internet and use other sources. So anyways, let's go get to the point here. We're going to take this list and we're going to go look at it here. Okay, so in Parcel Fair, we've taken that list, 4,000 plus properties, thrown them on the map for you. This is just one of several ways we can look at it. But let's start with this. I'm just looking at, this is where the properties are. So you see Omaha here on the eastern side, and we can see the county borders around it. Actually, that's the state border right there. And I call this helicopter mode because I can switch over to satellite if I want to see the terrain. I can switch back to map mode if I just want to see the map and in high contrast. And I can easily target large acreage properties like these and see 40 acres, 41 acres, 49 acres. So, I just click through those properties quickly. Let's go check out these. This is kind of cool looking. These are 75 and 38 acres. So I can just poke around and then I see like this entire neighborhood. Let's go to satellite. So an undeveloped neighborhood, maybe it's being developed, it looks like. But all of these parcels are going to auction at this point, at least. And we can just click on these and see. I mean, they're worth about 10 grand apparently from the county. So these are like $10,000 lots a piece. And I can just kind of go through them and get a preview of all of those. But maybe I'm not shopping for land, so I'm not going to do that. So I can explore the rural areas out here. I can go in towards Omaha and the city, and let's go to satellite view, and I can start looking at city blocks like this if I wanted to. I'm looking at commercial buildings now, and we'll just take this random commercial building here. Start there. So I don't have the greatest street view. This is showing us like looks like the side of the building, but this is the breakdown of the property for me. I can see like now that this property has my interest, I can go straight through to this report. I can see there's a tax lien available. I can see the tax lien. The amount due is $10,000, and the value of the property is 430. So yeah, that gives me an idea of like I'm tying up money at interest, and it's a valuable property that will likely redeem, I think. So yeah, we won't go through all these different things. This report is just full of information for you. But if I want to place a bid on this property, I'm going to click this green button. This is anywhere in Parcel Fair. Anytime we show you a property, these purchase options right here, that is how you know how to buy. We're going to show you how to buy or how to bid in this case. And so the blue button is going to take you to register for the auction over at Real Auction, and the green button takes you to the list. So that's our source. That's how we know the properties are available is from that. Now remember how I did not want to install that weird thing over here from Real Auction. Hopefully they fix that. I don't know why it's taking me through installing an app, but we found a much better way. In the right-hand corner, we have a section called Research Links. This is on every property in our system. Some of them are a little extraneous, owner skip tracing and research, obituaries, but this top section is always going to be the county links. And I have 3 here. I can go look at the counties. Let's start at the end. Let's go to the GIS map for the county. This lets me go check out basically straight on the GIS site. I also have a property card from the assessor and a property card from the treasurer. Let's go with the assessor one first. This takes me straight to their property card. I didn't have to install an app. I didn't have to go through any steps. It's just a website. And it's the official county website. Like this is where the assessor tracks all of their information. And then remember the first one, the property card, this is the treasurer's site, which also has a property card. And it's a little different formatted, but it takes us straight to that property to read all about this property and understand what's going on. We can see the taxes have not been paid in 2 years. That agrees with what we saw, this property being at auction. So again, 3 sources right there that we take you to just to help you through that. Now, that's how you would take, again, these are random properties I just chose. If you wanted to go top to bottom and see a property all the way to the end, that's how you do it. But we're dealing with 4,417 properties, so let's save ourselves some time. Let's start. I'm going to look at things with just improvements. 2,978. I'm going to stick my total value minimum at $100,000. Let's see what that gives us. We better go bigger. That still gets 2,000 properties. Let's do $300,000. Now we're down to 369 properties. So that just ruled out over 90% of the list for me. Now, that's not my strategy, so let's just keep moving. Let's say I want improvements with acreage. I'm going to put a minimum of 10 acres on here. That takes me down to 12 properties. Now, why I'm dealing with acreage, it's whatever my strategy may be, again, I'm hypothetical here. But now I have properties with 10 acres at least and a structure. So you can really slice and dice this however you want. Take the acreage off. We could look at only out-of-state owners. That's an interesting one because That's going to show us just owners that are owning the property but live in another state. That just means they might be less tied to the property, less interested in keeping it. Who knows? Could be an heir that inherited the property and doesn't want it. It's really just an indicator that might help us narrow down a little bit. If I really cared about how much money I'm tying up, though, I can use this taxes owed field right here. Let's say I don't want to bother with small liens. I want to only tie up liens that cost at least $1,000. Well, that's still most of the list. Let's say I don't want to tie up more than $2,000 on any single deal. Well, that gets me down to 951 properties. Now I can combine it with the improvements filter. I can throw 10 acres on it. And you can see, oh, that's too far. Let's go 5 acres. Maybe that'll give us one property. I literally got down to one property with these taxes owed, with improvements, and 5 acres. So this really just unlocks the auction for you. You don't have to go through and click one property at a time, install an app, find county sources on your own, because we already did it for you. You can just go here and enjoy the reports directly on our site. So I hope this was helpful for you. I wanted to give you enough information about this auction and how to digest it, how to break it down, just to get you started. You might see this and bounce right off of it, and maybe that saves you time. Maybe you were going to spend some time in Nebraska and consider this county, and maybe we just saved you a lot of time because you don't have to now, and you're going to go to a different auction. But we do expect more Nebraska counties to come. We're finding those auctions as one-offs. We just liked this one because it was a big auction, and we wanted to use it for demonstration. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to our channel so you can get more of it and get notified when we put out new videos. And if you like this content, please just like the video on YouTube. That helps us know that this is the kind of content you want to see more of. We love to talk. You can catch us on our YouTube comments. You can go to parcelfair.com. I'll just take you to that. And from parcelfair.com, you can always connect with us on our contact form or connect with us in our YouTube community here. So many ways to get in touch with us, and we'll pick up a conversation with you. Again, hope this was useful for you, and have a great day.